I was thinking about this the other day. This feeling that I think we all just quietly accept as normal. You are mid-sentence, talking to a friend, and suddenly the end of your thought just vanishes.
Oh, yeah, it just totally evaporates. Like you're reaching into your pocket for your keys, but you just find a hole instead.
Right, exactly. And we joke about the classic, walking into the kitchen and just blankly staring at the open
Oh,
fridge.
totally. The kitchen blank stare.
Yeah, but it is a lot less funny when it happens right at your desk,
Mm.
right? Like you are looking at a work screen you have managed 100 times before
Yeah.
and nothing connects.
Yeah.
It is just this mental static. And I really wonder, why do so many healthy, driven people just live with this fog? Like we just accept this heavy haze over our perception.
I think we accept it because it is so quiet, It is a really unsettling feeling, but it is not loud enough to make us stop. And I think we need to clear something up right away. This mental static, this fog, it is not a broken brain.
Right. It feels broken, though.
It does feel broken, but it is not a sign that you are lazy. It is not some permanent flaw in your growth. It is more of a quiet erosion. Think of it like a dimmer switch,
I'll dimmer switch.
Yeah, like a light switch that is just slowly, very slowly turning down over time. It comes from all these tiny daily habits that just sort of drain your mental clarity.
It is funny you say that because I feel like before we even look at the physical side of that dimmer switch, we have to look at the psychology of it because we instantly blame ourselves, right?
Oh, always. We internalize it immediately.
Yeah, and the pressure changes so much depending on where you are in life. Like, let us look at your 20s. When you are in your 20s, you are trying to build this clear identity.
We're trying to prove you belong.
Exactly. And brain fog violently clashes with that deep pressure to look sharp. In this culture where we compare everything, having that mental static makes you feel like you are failing at being a real adult,
Yeah.
Before you even really begin.
It is a massive block to your resilience. And then, you hit your late 20s or your mid 30s, and that pressure just scales up.
Oh, it gets so much heavier.
Right. Career demands pile up, relationships get serious, the financial weight sets in. People in this phase often just panic. They feel the fog and they think, well, my mind is just failing me.
Like their mind is just fundamentally giving out.
Exactly. But the truth is, your mind is just doing what it is meant to do. It is responding to a level of stress that the body was just never built to handle, not without real support.
I see that. But I also, I sort of have to challenge that a bit, especially when we talk about getting older.
Okay, tell me what you mean.
Well, you hear all the time that the mind is always flexible,
Right.
that growth is always possible.
Right. The whole mindset shift.
Right. But you talk to anyone in their late 30s or their 40s, and they will tell you straight up that they just cannot process things the way they did at 22.
Yeah, they feel slower.
Much slower. There's this really quiet fear that our thinking habits have become fixed, like we were just stuck.
How do you square that real lived feeling of being slower with the idea that the brain can always change?
Well, I mean, that lived feeling is very real. It is not in your head. But blaming it on a permanently fixed brain, that is the bias we fall into.
So we are just misreading the science.
Pretty much. Look, at 22, your brain is built for rapid change. It is just sucking up new info. By the time you are 40, your brain has built these massive, thick neural highways for the habits you do every single day. So the paths are just deeper.
Exactly. The paths are deeper, which makes you very efficient at what you know. But it might take a bit more physical energy to build a brand new road. The machinery to change is still there, I promise you.
So why does it feel like wading through wet cotton?
Because of what we carry. That sluggish feeling at 40, it is not a loss of flexibility. It is the heavy weight of physical debt.
Physical debt? Like what?
Like years of bad sleep, chronic worry, a diet that causes inner swelling, all of that catches up, and it just makes the physical cost of clear thinking so much higher.
That makes total sense. And it really frames what people feel at 45 and beyond.
Oh, that is a huge shift phase.
It really is. That is when questions about real purpose start to bubble up. You sit there and wonder, is it too late to feel sharp again?
You start questioning your whole routine.
Right. But the irony is, because the reasons for wanting that clarity become so much deeper, like
Yeah.
you are not just trying to pass a college test anymore. You want clarity for your family, for your own joy. That is exactly when the biggest breakthroughs happen. People finally pay off that physical debt.
Because they stop seeing their mind as a broken machine. That is a massive mindset shift.
Yeah.
The real difference between actual aging decline and just brain fog is how much it changes day to
The
day.
variation.
Yes, real decline is a steady downward slope. But brain
Yeah.
fog, it bounces all over the place.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
You can have a morning where you are completely locked in, just crushing it, and then by 2 in the afternoon, it is a disaster.
Exactly. Or you go on a calm trip and you feel incredibly sharp. But by Wednesday back at your desk, you are back in the haze. That bouncing around is your biggest clue.
The engine is actually fine.
The engine is perfect. It is the fuel you are putting in that drags you down.
So if the engine is not broken, I think we really have to look at what is happening to the fuel supply, right? Because the brain pretty much runs on sugar from our blood and oxygen and these delicate balance of brain chemicals.
Right, chemicals that drive your drive and your memory.
Right. And when I try to picture how modern habits mess this up, especially the sugar part, the best way I can picture it is like a city power grid.
Oh, I like that. Walk me through the power grid.
So imagine your mind as a city. If you eat a huge, heavy meal with tons of processed sugar, it is like you just sent a massive, shocking power spike through the whole city grid.
The wires just get totally fried.
Exactly. The system just overloads, and so your body panics. It rushes to clear out all that sugar, which causes a sudden, massive drop in power. The voltage just crashes.
And the lights go dim.
The lights go dim. The main servers, which is basically the front of your brain, the part that handles your focus and your discipline, those servers suddenly do not have enough power to run.
Right, they have to shut down.
They just reboot.
Yeah.
And that heavy rebooting feeling, that is exactly why you stare at your screen at 2 o'clock and cannot string a single thought together.
That is such a vivid way to see it. And when you mix that crashing power grid with constant low-level stress, the grid does not just lose power, the actual wires get damaged.
Like rust on the lines.
Yeah, basically. We often think of physical swelling as, a sprained ankle. But what do you think is happening inside your head when you live in a constant state of worry?
It is an internal swelling, right? A total immune response.
Exactly. That stress triggers these immune signals in your blood. And if you are always worried or eating stuff out of a wrapper, those signals just flood your system.
And they reach the brain.
They do. They cross right into the brain. And once they are in, they block the signals between your cells.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Imagine your brain cells are trying to send these rapid text messages to each other.
But the cell service is terrible.
Exactly. Those stress signals act like thick static on the line. The message might get there eventually, but it is so delayed it takes immense effort just to form a basic thought.
That is wild. And you know what is even wilder to me?
What is that?
Where those stress signals often start. The origin point for so much of our brain chemicals is actually the gut.
Oh, the gut connection is everything.
It is crazy to realize that a stomach issue can literally feel exactly the same as a thinking issue.
They mirror each other completely.
Right. There's this massive nerve highway that connects your stomach straight to the base of your brain.
The highway changes how we understand focus entirely. Look, you have trillions of little bugs in your stomach, right?
Which sounds gross, but they are the good guys.
They are the best guys. They eat the fiber you give them, and they create these byproducts. Those byproducts travel up to your brain and act like fertilizer for new cell growth.
So they literally help you grow.
Yes. And even more, those stomach bugs directly make the building blocks for the chemicals that make you feel happy and driven.
So if you do not feed them.
If you do not feed them diverse foods, you starve the exact bugs that make the chemicals you need to feel awake. You are not just feeding your body, you are directly choosing your brain chemistry.
That is just, it changes everything about how I view a quick lunch.
Right.
And if someone is listening to this right now, holding their late afternoon coffee, they might want to brace themselves for this next part.
Oh, the coffee trap.
Because the final piece of this engine is the deep sleep cleaning cycle. This completely shifts how we have to look at rest. It is not just lying still.
It is a highly active mechanical thing.
It is literally a brainwashing cycle.
It really is. During deep sleep, the cells in your brain actually shrink. They get physically smaller by a huge amount.
Which sounds bad, but it is actually good, right?
It is vital. When they shrink, they create empty space. And that allows fluid to rush in and wash away all the toxic trash that builds up from a long day of hard thinking.
So it's like the street sweepers coming out at night.
Exactly. But the sweepers only come out when the traffic of daily thoughts clears the road.
And this is where the coffee or the evening drink ruins things.
Yeah.
If you use a drink to unwind, or you have coffee late in the day, you break your sleep structure.
You shatter it.
You might be in bed, eyes closed for 8 hours, but you are just hovering in light sleep.
You never drop into that deep stage, so your cells never shrink. The sweepers never leave the garage.
So you wake up with yesterday's trash still sitting on the streets.
Exactly. You are literally setting up tomorrow's mental fog before you even go to sleep. The trash just sits in your pathways, blocking the signals.
And that physical buildup, it feeds directly into the psychology of the fog. Because this stuff does not happen in a vacuum, right?
No, the mind and body are totally linked.
Right. These physical things team up with our mental habits, and they create this sort of trap. The fog almost never travels alone.
It always brings friends, bad friends. Like the whole cycle of delaying things because they have to be perfect.
Oh, the paralysis loop.
Yeah.
That is such a common mindset block.
Let us trace how that actually works. Your mind is already heavy from lack of sleep, right? So just looking at a complex task feels physically painful.
You look at the email and you just sigh.
You just cannot do it. And if you are someone who struggles with needing things to be flawless, your brain does the math. It says, we do not have the energy to do this perfectly right now.
So it just shuts down to protect itself.
Exactly. Self-protection kicks in and you just avoid it. You put it off.
But putting it off does not bring relief.
Yeah.
It just creates this quiet, lingering worry.
The ambient dread.
Yes, the dread. And that worry spikes your stress. The stress triggers the swelling we talked about. The swelling blocks the brain signals even more.
It is a perfect loop.
Your own mental reaction literally creates the physical block that makes the fog thicker.
And then, right when we feel that discomfort, what do? We reach for our phones.
Every single time. We add phone habits into that loop.
We want to escape the heavy feeling, so we look for a quick hit of joy.
But it is a total trap. Because bouncing between an email, a text, and a social feed, it forces your brain to constantly shift its focus.
Which burns so much fuel.
It just drains your power grid. It trains your attention span to be so short that trying to read one long document feels like torture.
Think about a friend of mine. Let us call her, let us say her name is Jane. She runs a big team. She always wore her busy schedule like a badge of honor.
The classic grind mindset.
Total grind mindset. But over a few months, she starts having to read the same simple page 3 times. She goes into a big meeting and just completely loses her train of thought.
And the really sad part about that, the thing that gets me, is how fast we just accept feeling terrible.
We normalize it instantly.
We do. She probably just accepts this fog as her new normal. She thinks she just needs more discipline.
Right, so she skips breakfast to work more, drinks more caffeine, and stares at her phone in bed.
We buy into this myth that we are defective. We think our worth is dropping instead of seeing that our habits are just failing us.
It is strange, is it not? Blaming ourselves is somehow easier than admitting we need to change our daily routine.
Because society rewards the struggle.
Exactly. We are told that if you are not pushing to the edge, you are not trying. So when our physical limit hits, we see it as a moral failure.
We think, I am losing my edge.
Instead of saying, I have not given my body the rest it needs to function.
Changing that perception is so deeply vital. Like, I know this guy, he is in his late 40s, manages a warehouse. He started struggling to follow simple shipping forms.
And he probably panicked.
Total panic. He jumped straight to the thought that his mind was permanently fading. He was scared his best days were behind him.
But what was his daily life like?
Well, that's the thing. If you actually look at his habits, the fog always peaked at 3 in the afternoon.
Ah, it was the power grid crashing.
Yes. His routine was the problem. He was skipping lunch and just running on pure stress and black coffee.
His brain was literally starving for fuel.
Exactly. It was not his age at all. And once he just started eating a solid lunch with some good fats and put a hard stop on his evening screens to protect his sleep, the afternoon fog just vanished.
Because his mind was never failing, it was just keeping an accurate score of his choices.
Keeping an accurate score. That is a brilliant way to put it. So if the fog is just a symptom of a bad routine and empty fuel, how do we start to shift it?
Gently. Very gently.
Right, because we want to avoid that trap of trying to change everything in one day, right?
The all-or-nothing trap is a disaster. You do not need a massive life overhaul. You just need tiny, micro habits.
So where do we start? Food.
Food is the base level. The very first thing you can do is just give yourself steady fuel in the morning. Do not just eat sugar for breakfast.
Give yourself a smooth power curve.
Exactly. Avoid the massive spike in the crash.
And water. The water aspect shocked me. Just being mildly thirsty, like a tiny drop in your body's water level, can clearly drop your memory and focus.
It makes physical sense, though. Think about it. If you lack water, your blood gets slightly thicker.
Which means the heart has to work harder.
Right. It takes more physical effort to pump that blood all the way up into your head against gravity.
So if you wake up after losing water all night just by breathing, and your first move is a big cup of coffee,
You are starting the race with weights on your ankles?
you're just handicapping your own clarity.
And beyond water, the actual building blocks of your cells matter so much. Good fats, like you find in fish or nuts, they build the walls of your brain cells.
They keep them flexible.
Right, very flexible. If the walls are flexible, signals pass through quickly. If you eat junk, the cell walls get rigid and your thinking literally slows down.
It is amazing how much control we actually have. So if we move from the fuel to the daily habits, it seems like the goal is just reducing the heavy lifting our brain has to do.
Yes, managing the mental load, single tasking is the best cure for that burnt out feeling.
Just doing one thing at a time.
It stops the constant energy drain of switching gears and
Oh.
combining that with just moving around.
It does not need to be a heavy workout either.
Not at all. Just standing up, taking a short walk, it pushes fresh blood right to the front of your brain. It clears out that localized, tired feeling.
I have also found that doing a mental download at night is a game changer for the mindset.
Oh, getting things on paper.
Yeah. Just writing down all the loose thoughts before bed. It stops that late night worry cycle.
It is like closing all the open tabs on your computer before you shut it down.
Exactly. You signal to your nervous system that it is safe to rest, which lets you enter that deep wash cycle we talked about.
The most solid strategy I have ever seen, though, does not even rely on willpower. It is all about setting up visual cues in your space.
Like leaving a glass of water right on your desk.
Yes, or putting your phone in a completely different room when you need to focus.
Getting sunshine in your eyes first thing in the morning to set your daily clock.
These little cues bypass the need to force yourself to do things because willpower is a battery, right? And it runs out very fast.
It really is a strange paradox. We are trying to use a tired, foggy brain to force the discipline needed to fix the tired, foggy brain.
Which never works. You just fail, feel guilty, and make the fog worse with stress.
Right. But small visual cues change your habits on their own.
If the water is staring at you, you will just drink it.
Without even thinking.
Without a single thought. If the phone is out of reach, the tiny annoyance of having to stand up to get it is usually enough to break the checking habit.
So you're not forcing clarity. You're just designing a space where clarity is the easiest option.
The path of least resistance.
The path of least resistance. I mean, that perfectly captures everything we have been trying to unpack today.
It is a deeply hopeful view of the mind.
It really is reassuring.
Okay.
Because the main takeaway here is that your brain is not broken at all.
Not even a little bit.
It is this beautiful, highly efficient machine. And it is working exactly as it should, based on the exact inputs it has been given.
If you feed it bad fuel, constant worry, and broken sleep, it will give you mental static.
It's just doing the math.
Exactly. It is functioning perfectly under poor conditions. You shift the inputs, you clear that physical debt, and the sharp feeling comes back.
And doing small things daily matters so much more than trying some huge, extreme routine change.
Consistency over intensity, always.
You do not need to do every single thing we talked about tomorrow. Please do not fall into that trap.
Just pick one small thing.
Right. Just one. Maybe you just drink a glass of water before you touch your morning coffee.
Or maybe you just leave your phone in a drawer an hour earlier tonight.
Just give your brain cells a chance to shrink so the sweepers can clean the streets. One tiny change can start a huge ripple effect in your daily clarity.
It really can.
So I want to leave you with a thought to sort of sit with today. Think about the heavy mental static you have just quietly accepted as your normal life. If just being slightly thirsty can clearly drop your memory and force your heart to work harder just to fuel your thoughts, what other massive hidden potential is sitting right beneath your current habits, just waiting for one tiny, better choice?
These thoughts, these questions, they don't have to stop here. Geeks Mindset has many more podcasts and videos just like this one. Subscribe to the channel and explore other episodes. They all flow the same thoughtful way. If this podcast felt genuinely useful to you, share it with even one person in your life. That one share can bring a real change in someone's life, and it helps Geeks Mindset reach more people who truly need this. If this brought you real value, look for the join button right next to the Geeks Mindset logo below this video. Click it and become a member of the Mindset Support Circle. Your support helps honest mindset awareness reach thousands who are silently struggling. Geeks Mindset moves forward because of you. Thank you so much from the heart for being here.